Hello everyone and welcome back to Lecture 8. In Lecture 8, I will be discussing different structure types that you can use in your paper. First, there are two different types of structures, block structure and chain structure. In a block structure, for example, if you are writing a problem solution paper, you can start with problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, problem 4, or as many problems as you have. And then you can proceed to solutions. Solution 1, solution 2, solution 3. But in a chain structure, problem 1 is followed by solution 1, and problem 2 is followed by solution 2. If you are writing an argumentative paper, then in a block structure, you introduce argument 1, followed by argument 2, followed by argument 3, and then you proceed to presenting counter arguments. Now, it doesn't matter how many counter arguments you have here. But in a chain structure, argument number 1 is followed by counter argument number 1, and argument number 2 must be followed by counter argument number 2. So the same thing goes for a cause-effect paper. Okay, let's give an example. If you have watched lecture 7, you are familiar with this thesis statement. While mothers tend to be the ideal choice for the two reasons of being emotionally attached and the main providers of care to the children, especially in their early years, which cannot be often provided by fathers, mothers' lack of ability regarding financial support and lack of a strong character in children's life, especially after they grow up, justify the joint custody as the most ideal type of custody. Now, how many arguments do we have here? 1. Joint custody is the best solution. How many counter arguments do we have? 2. The first counter arguments talk about mothers as the ideal choice, while the second counter arguments talk about fathers as the ideal choice. And then for each one, there are two reasons. Mothers can provide emotional attachment or emotional support. Fathers can provide financial support. Mothers can provide care in the early life. Fathers can provide care in the later life. Now, if I want to write a chain structure for this paper, I will be linking these reasons together. So I will state reason 1 followed by reason 1 here because they are parallel to each other. And then of course reason 2 stating that mothers are the ideal choice should be followed by reason 2 stating that fathers are the ideal choice. Meaning that first I will discuss that mothers are the ideal choice and then I will refute it by stating that fathers are the ideal choice. Let's have a look at the table. In this paper, as you can see, joint custody is the best solution. This is the topic of the paper, and I am using the chain structure. So for every argument, I need to have a counter argument, and then I will need to refute the counter argument. So argument number 1, the children can grow up with the influence of both parents in case of joint custody. So the counter argument number 1 would be mothers are the ideal choice as they provide cares that fathers are not able to provide. However, I need to refute it because I am going to prove that children can grow up with the influence of both parents. So mothers do not present a strong character after the children grow up. Then I will proceed to argument number 2, children's needs, and by needs we mean emotional and financial needs, are met with the presence of both parents. So the counter argument number 2 is mother's emotional attachment makes them the ideal choice for custody, Well, I can refute it by stating that mother's lack of financial support actually does not make them the ideal choice. Please don't forget that in this section, you need to provide citations because you are making claims. And because you are making claims, you need to exactly provide citation as to show that where you get the information from. Now, let's look at this slide. This slide presents the same topic in a block structure. So here, I do not have to follow the same one-to-one match. I just present the argument. Joint custody is the best solution because children can have a more balanced life. And then I bring counter arguments regarding that mothers alone are the ideal choice. And then I refute it by actually stating that mothers are not the ideal choice. Then here, I didn't put argument 1, 2, because in this type of structure, I do not believe that there is a one-to-one link, or there is a one-to-one relationship between arguments, counter arguments, and refuting the counter argument. So the counter argument, mothers alone are the ideal choice as they provide cares that fathers are not able to provide. The second counter argument, mothers alone are the ideal choice as they have emotional attachment. And then I refute them, mothers alone are not the ideal choice as they do not present a strong character after the children grow up. Also, mothers alone are not the ideal choice as they usually lack the ability of providing financial support single-handedly. And please don't forget that number 2 here refers to the body. As I mentioned in the previous lecture, there are 3 parts to the outline. Part number 1 or section number 1 is the introduction, section number 2 is the body, and section number 3 is the conclusion. Please again, everyone, I will emphasize that you need to provide citations for the claims that you make. Okay, and then the second thing is that which type of a structure you choose, either block structure or chain structure, totally depends on how you see the data. Depends on the availability of the data. What kind of information do you have, and how do you want to categorize them or group them? Okay, thank you very much for joining this lecture.